What's up guys, Sunny here and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Now I haven't made a storytime video in a long time. Also I usually script my storytime videos so that I don't repeat myself so much and so that, I get the story right. But today I'm gonna just talk from my mind, tell you guys exactly what happened, and hopefully you will have a laugh because it was hilarious. So without further ado, let's get to it. This all started about a year ago when I was about to meet my ex-boyfriend for the first time. Or of course he was gonna be my boyfriend at the time, but yeah, you know what I mean. So the thing is, I live in this town outside of Oslo. Oslo is the capital of Norway and that's where we were gonna meet. We were planning on meeting on the central station, and so I had to take the train from my city to Oslo. And there is in fact several stops before I actually get to Oslo. I think there's like 3 stops. Yeah, you're in my town, you stop one place, you stop another place, and then the last place, and then you're in Oslo. I stepped onto the train, I sat down. Pretty much the entire train wagon was completely empty except for me. And I, as usual, I just put in like music because I like listening to music when I travel. Everything went great until the first stop. Then this very drunk guy sat down, not next to me, actually it was like on the other side. You can walk in the middle and there's seats on both sides. I sat on this side and he sat on that side, so we didn't sit next to each other, if you know what I mean. But I could really sense that he was looking at me like several times, so I kind of freaked out a bit, but I still just listened to music. And then the next stop after that again, he actually just walked over and sat down next to me, and I was like, this always happens to me, right? I don't know if you've seen my crazy stalker experience, but it was like pretty much the same, except the girl sat down next to me immediately after entering the train. He started talking to me and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, had to take my earplugs out and actually reply. And he said to me that he was in deep trouble, and I was like, oh really? I started actually getting a bit curious because he seemed like very serious, and I was like, yeah, what's up? And he told me that he just came from a party. Also, I forgot to mention that it was in the middle of the day, so it was kind of strange being drunk. It's not normal to be drunk in the middle of the day. Yeah, anyway, so he told me that he was, I think he was at the bar. I can't really remember that so well, but he had been drinking. I obviously noticed because he smelled like beer and cigarettes and whatever. And he told me that he was hanging out with his best friend and that and that they had a great talk and all that stuff. He had a great time, he loved hanging out with him and all those things. And apparently his friend had admitted that he had a crush on him, and so this guy sitting next to me had kind of freaked out a bit because he wasn't gay, so he was like, what do I do? So basically what he told me, from what I remember, was that he did not know what to say, but he had to play it off cool and just say like, oh, that's totally cool. But he told me that he actually wasn't cool with it because he kind of freaked out and was a little bit scared. But I tried telling him that nothing had really changed. I mean, if he didn't want to get into a relationship, they basically couldn't, so I didn't really understand what he was afraid of, because, if my best friend told me that she had a crush on me, I'd be like, okay, that's totally fine, but I'm not really into that. I'm sorry, but I like having you as a friend, and it shouldn't like it's so hard explaining. I think you guys understand what I mean, okay? But I tried like calming the guy down because he was really upset, and I'm actually totally fine with him sitting next to me when he wasn't creepy or anything. But it doesn't stop here, you see? There's always a goddamn plot twist. Since I was so kind to him and tried supporting him and stuff, I do think that he thought that I was interested or something, and I was not, because he was like so much older than me. He was like an adult, and I was like 18 or 17. I was actually 17 at that point. I can't really remember where he told me he was from. I think it was Kenya or something. Anyway, now to the plot twist. Like I said, since I was so kind to him, I do believe that he thought I had a crush on him. But the problem was that I was about to visit my boyfriend, and I'm like very shy, so I was kind of freaking out a bit because he totally tried flirting with me, and I was like, but anyway, so we stopped once again on like the last stop before we actually came to the central station, and apparently he was going to the central station too, which I thought, oh great, because my ex-boyfriend was literally waiting at the central station, so I thought that would be like a very fucked up scenario the first time I met my ex-boyfriend. Yeah, you know what I mean. So this guy, he literally started telling me that I look so pretty and that my clothes look nice and so on and so on, and I was just like, oh thank you, that's so kind of you, whatever, you know. He just kept on talking about the situation going on with the best friend and stuff, and we basically just spoke back and forth, and when we finally arrived at the central station, I was just, okay, I have to go off here, and it's like, oh, I'm going off too. And he followed me, he just walked next to me and just continued on talking, and I was like, holy shit, is this guy gonna follow me the entire day? On the central station, there's like tons of platforms, and to get inside the central station, you have to go up this, what is it called? Yeah, you know, the stairs that moves upwards. I don't fucking know what it's called. But to get into the central station, you have to walk up these stairs, and so I did that. And at the top of the stairs was my ex-boyfriend, so he was waiting for me. But this guy, he freaked me out, and we just walked up and he talked to me, and I had to obviously reply, because if I didn't reply, that would have been rude. But okay, so I went straight up to my ex-boyfriend. I just gave him a hug because I was freaking out, and the guy that walked next to me, he was just like, what? And then he walked off, and I was like, yes, yes. My ex-boyfriend was like, what the fuck, who was that? And I was like, this guy, he had been talking to me for the past 30 minutes, and oh, I had to tell him the entire story, and he was kind of laughing about it because what the heck. It was kind of hilarious. Actually, I found it very freaking hilarious. But yeah, so crazy shit like that always happens to me. I do believe it's just my luck because I'm so shy and introverted, but I really hope that the guy figured out the situation, like with his friend and stuff, and yeah. That was basically it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, and if you want me to do more story times, make sure to comment that down below. And yeah, also before I forget, if you want to ask some questions for this week's Sunny Sundays, make sure to like my Facebook page, which is this, or you can follow me on Twitter. Bam! And yeah, I'll talk to you guys within a couple of days with a brand new video. And yeah, bye!